My fault, my fault. We're gonna do that over again.
I didn't shit on purpose, I just did with no meaning. And you know I'll go hard for you, I'm just always playing defense. And you watching my pages, say you miss me, stop creeping. You just watch me boy every day, cause I'm never in the bleachers. Silly mocking or reminiscing how I had a lot in the speakers. This is not no sneak this is Snoopy just speaking. I'm her favorite TV show, she's waiting for next season. Getting breached every day, where the fuck is the weekend? Your ex-man hitting on me, that's the main reason he plotting scheming. I just moving my savages, I be moving with my demons. I just ball like the hardened way, I just gotta get it harder way. Why I think about tomorrow, if I didn't even start today. I'm gonna let the beat play out for this one. Okay, like that has. You know you can count on me, cause I will see. Say more. Fuck all that shit. You know how to slap that, you know how to beat it. She's the Snoopy you conceited. I love my freak bitch, pussy wet when she eat thick. You think that I'ma leave that for you? Who really is conceited? Damn bitch, you tweaking. I'm a ball every day, damn, I'm a ball every season. I'ma keep on getting money, baby girl, this music shit is how I'm eating. You know how to slap that, you know how to beat it. I didn't shit on purpose, I just did it with no meaning. This is not no sneak this is Snoopy just speaking. I'm her favorite TV show, she's waiting for next season. I just ball like the hardened way, I just gotta get it harder way. Why I think about tomorrow, if I didn't even start today.
It is AM, not PM. You know the vibes. You know AM, not PM. Back at it again with another one. Here we doing a reaction. Um, Last video I messed up. Talking about last video. There was no audio. There was something wrong with the audio. Well, we back here again. We here with another reaction, and we back at it again. I tried doing this video again. I tried doing this video earlier, and it was a couple technical difficulties. I didn't have the live structured. I have the live structure now. Well, hopefully. So we're gonna try this again. For me, work with me. For me, learning process. Like these videos, we're here to only learn, find new, different information. Not everything here is true, so that's why you decide if you want to do your own build up. You feel me? If you want to go and look at these videos yourself, you could go ahead. You feel me? Look at these videos yourself and see what you believe in, what you think is true, what you think is false. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know what you learned, then go ahead. I have no problem with that. I will actually enjoy that. But let me stop yapping. Let's get to this video. Let's get to these videos. Okay. Okay. Let me stop. Alright, alright. Let me make sure everything's structured. Everything is structured. Let's start this video quick.
Tell me why NASA was frolicking around in Algeria, but then pretending to be on Mars. Now, this isn't the only case where this has happened. Of course, NASA was in Devon Island, Canada. They set up a whole fake NASA base. And of course, they were pretending to be on Mars. Now, why on earth would NASA do this? Isn't Mars a giant rock planet that we can go to? Well, I don't think so, guys. This is what Mars actually looks like if you look at it with a Nikon P1000, aka the Globe Buster, which of course was discontinued because NASA paid Nikon to stop making the Globe Buster for reasons like this, because you can literally see stars and planets as they really are, luminaries in the firmament above. So Mars isn't some rock that you can land on. And this is why all of the rockets go up into the sky and then curve and then scrape the firmament, because they literally cannot leave Earth's atmosphere. We are in a closed system and we cannot leave. Bill Nye the Science Guy has explicitly stated this. So this is why all of the rockets, once they actually get to outer space, suddenly it becomes a computer animation. So it's really just some guy sitting there behind a computer with glasses and a neckbeard and making up a whole fantasy world that you choose to believe in. And you call it your reality. Kind of weird, huh? I made this video for entertainment purposes only. Can someone please tell me why NASA was frolicking around in Algeria? Do you live anywhere in these red zones? If so, severe weather is possible on June 24th and 25th, 2026. And if you live in the dashed area, that is where you really need to pay attention. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz, and here's the full breakdown of what to expect in your area. Now, before I dive into the details, I do want to acknowledge the absolutely insane storm that impacted Denver last night. I mean, check out all of this damage from the zero rain and light breeze that we saw from these storms. Yeah, we will rebuild. So yes, obviously it was a bust. I do take full responsibility for that, but it wasn't because of a lack of storms. There were actually quite a few hail reports south and east of town. The atmosphere was trying. We did see a series of outflow boundaries pivoting toward the metro, which could ignite storms. But I actually think it was the wildfire smoke that prevented storms from igniting in the metro, because it created a very thin layer of stable air. It really goes to show you how difficult it is to nail down severe weather, especially in this part of the country, as one small thing can ruin the whole forecast. And speaking of which, let's take a look at what's up next. For Wednesday, June 24th, the SPC has a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for this orange zone in southeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, and northeastern Colorado. A level 2 out of 5 slight risk in this yellow zone covers the Denver metro and Colorado Springs and extends all the way down to the Texas-New Mexico border. This also includes much of Utah, including Salt Lake City and Provo. A separate level 2 risk also covers most of Wisconsin and northern Illinois, including Rockford, Madison, Milwaukee, and Wausau. Scattered storms will initiate near Interstate 25 in the mid-afternoon and will eventually congeal into a messy line as it moves toward the eastern plains. Meanwhile, a weak shortwave trough will track across the Great Basin, igniting storms across the southwest, mostly over Utah. Scattered showers and storms will also push across Wisconsin to the shores of Lake Michigan. The biggest concern is going to be for large and destructive hail, which is possible in the most intense cells in this highlighted region, which extends back to the Denver metro and Colorado Springs. If you live in the red zone, that is where we could be seeing very large to giant hail, perhaps up to softball size. This includes Cheyenne, Scottsbluff, Sterling, and Fort Morgan. There also could be a couple tornadoes, with the highest probability in this brown area of Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado. Odds are fairly low, but there's also potential for an isolated tornado or two in this green area, which includes Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, and Chicago. Damaging straight line winds are most likely to occur in these yellow zones, which include Denver and Salt Lake City.
How would you feel if you was just chilling driving? You was driving with your friends. You like, alright, you doing whatever y'all doing. Y'all talking, chatting, whatever y'all doing. Y'all in the car. Feel me? Just driving. Turn around. Like, yo, bro, what you eat? What you want to? When you want to stop to the store get something to eat? We all y'all all hungry, gay? Alright, we out. You see a tornado. What you doing? And you can't just the reverse, because by the time you reverse, it's gonna hit you. What you really doing? Nothing. No, that's exactly what you're doing. Nothing. You really think about it, you're not doing nothing. You really think about it, you're not doing nothing, bro. But this reminds me of, like, I seen a video like 2, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, about El Nino that's basically happening. This reminds me of that, the El Nino. We're gonna get back to the video. Let me stop chatting.
those of you in this blue zone, that is where damaging winds could peak at hurricane force intensity in the most intense cells. On Thursday, June 25th, another wave of showers and isolated storms will push across Colorado. A line of storms is also expected to form and drop southward from Kansas to Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. The SPC has a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for this yellow zone, which extends from northeastern Wyoming to the Texas Panhandle and out to the Ozarks. This includes the Denver Metro, Amarillo, Wichita, Tulsa, and Springfield. A level 1 out of 5 marginal risk in dark green includes Lubbock, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, St. Louis, and yes, parts of Illinois. The most widespread concern will be for damaging straight line winds, with the highest probability in this yellow zone. Large hail is most likely to occur in this yellow zone, extending from La Junta to Springfield, including through Tulsa and Wichita. There also could be a few tornadoes, most likely in this brown zone in northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas. I should note that we are not really talking about widespread storms, more like isolated to scattered in nature, so many of you may not see anything at all. It is nearly impossible to pinpoint exactly who will and who won't see storms, but the potential is there nonetheless, and I do think we need to plan accordingly. For more updates on severe weather all around the world, please make sure to follow me on all social media platforms so you can stay weather aware. Do you live anywhere in these red zones? If so, severe weather is possible on June 24th.
See, y'all think this shit is a game, but in case you didn't hear, the
Didn't just say about the El Nino? Let me not hold you up, but El Nino.
NOAA already gave an official Super El Nino advisory. They're saying that it's almost guaranteed that this Super El Nino is coming our way. They're saying that this could be one of the hottest summers in human history. This could be one of the hottest summers ever recorded. Do you understand what that means? They're saying that severe weather will be seen all across the United States of America. And this ain't just a warning for the United States. This is a warning for the whole entire world. Now, if you don't know what a Super El Nino is, you need to go down that rabbit hole. Look up what happened in 1877. We're talking about 50 million people gone just because of extreme weather conditions. We're talking about famine. We're talking about the heat being hotter than it's ever been. And the same thing that those 50 million people lost their lives from in 1877, they're talking about this is going to be happening this summer. I just need you to imagine crop failure everywhere on this whole entire planet. Just imagine a drought everywhere on this planet. Jump down that rabbit hole and look at the similarities between the Pacific Ocean now and the Pacific Ocean in 1877. This is a Super El Nino. They're saying that on the West Coast, they may experience typhoons like they've never seen before. They're saying that the South is going to get rainfall like they never experienced before. We're talking about Louisiana. We're talking about Texas. We're talking about Florida. The NOAA is saying that this is not normal. We may be looking at a world of trouble. All I'll say is this. Look at the patterns. Look how the weather is. Cold one day, hot this day, raining this day, cold. This is almost summertime. Y'all better pay attention. See, y'all think this shit is a game, but in
We lose all crops and everything. I'm just saying to this. We lose crops and everything. We lose a lot of farms. We just lose a lot of food sources because of this El Nino. We doing way past the Great Depression. We going way past that. Like we already had the Great Depression. Matter of fact, let me stop. But we getting there. The time's getting hard. It's only getting harder. So basically, structure up, stay focused, stock food if you have to, and save your money. I gotta listen to that too. Save my money. If you save your money, times get hard.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So as we know, this photo right here shows all of the different conspiracy theories in the world, going from the least scary to, well, the scariest of the scary. So today let's kick off part 6 where stuff gets even wilder. So if you're easily scared or easily confused, keep on scrolling, do not watch this series. If you're here for the long run though, let's go. So today we've got dream theory, often referred to as alternate perception. Now this is just messed up and really confusing. So stick with me. Right, so you know when you have a lucid dream where it's really believable and you feel everything? You can literally control what happens in your dreams. It may be like real life. You know, you may be doing things you do in your everyday life, whatever. And sometimes you wake up and think, was that a dream? That's really weird. The theory is that we're actually switched. Now, stay with me. Basically, the theory is that what we're in right now, what I'm talking to you, you're watching TikTok, whatever, this is actually the dream world. So we're all dreaming. When we go to sleep and dream, that's actually the real world. See what I mean? Done a little switcheroo there. See what I mean? It's messed up and confusing. But if you think about it, we can control some of our dreams. So it is possible that that's another consciousness and another life. Hit that follow button so you never miss a part. Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So as we know, this photo right here shows all of the different conspiracy theories in the world, going from the least scary to, well, the scariest of the scary. So today let's kick off part 6 where stuff gets even wilder.
My bad. I was just stuck in my thoughts real quick. You ever cause I agree with him some part. You ever had a dream like what he said? You have a dream and then you just thought about it like, what's that real? I have mad of those dreams. I'm not gonna hold you. I have multiple of those dreams that I just had to think about. Was that real? Sure. I don't know. Many times I woke up because I thought it was real. For me, up here, slapped the floor, just died. Somehow got thrown off the building. I don't know. Well, this is example for me. There's others like me and the boys running down. For me, sometimes I don't even have dreams. Let me know, do you even have dreams? Sometimes I don't even have dreams. But I feel like dreaming is, I mean, some people who could have dreams is an important thing, bro. And lucid dreaming, strong thing. Sometimes, it's depending on what you eat, you gotta be healthy, all that. Feed the body, feed the brain. Actually, get all that demons away from you. Everything. Be more entwined with yourself. Be, like, you feel me? But let me stop yapping.
For centuries, whispers of hidden truths and secret agendas have fueled our imaginations. What if some of those far-fetched tales weren't just theories but chilling realities? Join us as we uncover 20 conspiracy theories that were once dismissed but later proven undeniably true. First, Project MK Ultra. Rumors of CIA mind control experiments seemed like science fiction. Declassified documents confirmed the CIA used LSD, sensory deprivation, and torture on unwitting subjects. Next, Operation Northwoods, the U.S. military planning terrorism against its own citizens. Documents revealed a 1962 proposal for a false flag operation to justify war with Cuba. The Tuskegee syphilis study, a horrifying truth about government medical neglect. For 40 years, the Public Health Service left black men untreated for syphilis, even after a cure existed. COINTELPRO. Activists claimed the FBI was infiltrating their movements. The FBI's program was exposed for harassing figures like Martin Luther King Jr. Operation Mockingbird. The CIA manipulating the media seemed outlandish, but the agency had a propaganda network influencing major news organizations during the Cold War. The Gulf of Tonkin incident. The second attack that escalated the Vietnam War never happened. Declassified reports showed the U.S. government misrepresented a radar glitch as an assault and say mass surveillance. Before 2013, the government is listening was a joke. Edward Snowden's leaks proved the NSA's PRISM program collected vast global communication data. Project Sunshine. The government stealing body parts for radiation testing. To study nuclear fallout, the U.S. harvested tissues from deceased children without consent. Operation Paperclip. After World War II, rumors spread that the U.S. was secretly hiring Nazis. Over 1,600 Nazi scientists and engineers were brought to the U.S. for space and military programs. The Iran-Contra affair. Despite denials, the Reagan administration secretly sold weapons to Iran. Funds were then used to support Contra rebels in Nicaragua, bypassing Congress. Big Tobacco's health cover-up. For decades, companies dismissed cancer claims as conspiracy. secret internal memos proved they knew about lethal risks and addiction as early as the 1950s. Exxon and climate change. Environmentalists accused oil companies of hiding climate science. Exxon's own scientists warned of global warming caused by fossil fuels in the 1970s. The Ford Pinto scandal. Rumors that Ford knew its Pinto was a fire trap were confirmed. Ford performed a cost-benefit analysis, deciding settlements were cheaper than a recall. Asbestos health risks. Manufacturers were accused of hiding the dangers of asbestos. The industry suppressed health data for nearly half a century to avoid lawsuits. The Teapot Dome scandal. Critics alleged the government was taking bribes to lease oil fields. Secretary Albert Fall took over $400,000 in bribes to lease Navy oil reserves. The Nayura testimony. A 15-year-old girl testified Iraqi soldiers were killing babies. It was later revealed to be Kuwaiti propaganda orchestrated by a U.S. PR firm. The Mafia. For years, J. Edgar Hoover denied the existence of a national crime syndicate. The 1957 Appalachian meeting raid finally forced the FBI to acknowledge the mob was real. Bohemian Grove, skeptics called it a myth, but this secret camp is very real. Powerful men meet annually for strange rituals, away from public eyes. Operation Snow White. Scientologists were accused of infiltrating the government. The church carried out a massive program to purge unfavorable records by stealing documents. The 1919 World Series fix. Rumors that the Black Sox threw the series for money were true. 8 players were banned for life for conspiring with gamblers to lose to the Cincinnati Reds.
Top 5 conspiracy theories. 1. Hollow Earth. Some believe that the Earth is hollow and inhabited by advanced civilizations, hidden beneath the surface. This theory often involves secret entrances at the North and South Poles. 2. Chemtrails. The belief that the visible streaks left by aircraft in the sky are actually chemicals deliberately sprayed for various purposes, such as weather modification or population control. 3. Reptilian elite. A theory claiming that shape-shifting reptilian aliens control world governments and institutions, often pointing to influential figures as being part of this extraterrestrial race. 4. The Denver Airport conspiracy. Speculation surrounds the Denver International Airport, with theories ranging from secret underground bunkers to connections with the New World Order. 5. Project Bluebeam, a theory suggesting that a global conspiracy plans to use advanced holographic technology to create a fake alien invasion or religious event to manipulate the masses. Top 5 conspiracy theories. 1. Hollow Earth.
You know, I find it very, very interesting. I'm a former governor, a former mayor, a former Navy SEAL with a top secret security clearance, yet I can't go on Plum Island. I get the Coast Guard tailing me. I get vehicles along the shore watching our every move. Where I come from, if you're the one paying the money, that makes you the boss. How come we, the people, aren't the boss anymore? We're the one paying the salaries of these people, and yet they deprive us of knowing what they do on this island. They want to get heavy. I can give as good as I get. Next stop, Washington, D.C. I paid a visit to Congressman Tim Bishop. If there's anyone who'd know what's going on at Plum Island, this is the guy. Plum Island's in his district. He was a little surprised to see me, but at least he had the guts to talk to me. Not like some of these guys. It's a strange place out there, Plum Island. I got chased around by the Coast Guard. I got chased around and shadowed by Homeland Security. Does that island concern you?
Well, I think there was a period of time where I was very concerned because I felt that there was not a sufficient investment in securing the island. And so part of what you encountered, I think, was an increased level of security for the island.
None of the fishing boats would take us out there because of fear of retribution from Homeland Security, which I found horrible.
Well,
that Homeland Security rules by threats and rules by intimidation.
I have to tell you, I have never heard any suggestion of threat or intimidation. I just have not.
Well, like I'm giving you your first one then. What concerned me the most about it was when I read the history of it. And I saw who the godfather is of Plum Island, Erich Traub, who was a Nazi right under Himmler, that many people think probably should have stood trial at Nuremberg, but his expertise is attempting to create biological warfare using ticks and mosquitoes to spread them. That doesn't bother you that this guy came there? And
If that was what was going on there, if I was convinced that that was what was going on there, that would bother me. But I don't believe that that's what's going on there.
so you're comfortable and don't believe in the conspiracy that Lyme disease originated there because it started in Lyme, Connecticut, which is right across the water?
I do not accept that.
You don't accept that?
I do not.
What accomplishments have they got out of there?
Well, they have conducted research that has
But I
helped
mean,
us.
what
There's none. You can't name one. You cannot name one. That's why. He over here stuttering. Get it out today, Junior. The fuck is good with this guy, man? My bad.
what has been achieved? I've heard nothing. Are you angry that there's a possibility it could move to Kansas?
I wouldn't use the word angry. I am troubled by that. And in fact, I have been working to try to keep the facility open on Plum Island.
Aren't you concerned, though, that if something could go wrong at this place and what the results of it could be?
Plum Island is so-called zoonotic diseases are not studied at Plum Island. Diseases that are animal-borne that can spread to humans. The only diseases that are studied at Plum Island are animal-borne diseases that do not spread.
And you know this absolutely.
I accept what I've been told. Okay.
I guess that's the difference between him and me. I don't just accept what I've been told. There was someone else I wanted to find. You know, I find it very, very interesting.
Sometimes you gotta realize some of these people are just puppets. I mean, they're just puppets. They gotta do what they told. That's how they feel like. My fault. They feel like they gotta do what they told. They gotta listen and accept everything and believe everything that the higher ups tell them. Well, no. But we on to the next video.
This video that I'm about to show you guys really did open my eyes up and kind of had my jaw drop. Let me know your personal thoughts in the comments, but I'm just still trying to get over this.
Who is the Antichrist? I've got this question a lot in my DMs so many times, so I figured I would address who I believe it is. A lot of people message me saying they know for sure it's Trump. A lot of people message me and say that they know for sure it's Obama. Understand something, the Antichrist is not going to be a hated person at first. Revelation 13 talks about how the Antichrist will be loved and worshiped and followed all across the world. Everyone's going to love this man at first.
My bad. I didn't even notice your the comment you gave me about my hair. Thank you. I appreciate it. How's your day? And yeah, the government's they've been here dropping jewels. Let me stop. But alright, I said thank you about my hair. But let's tap in and go back to the video. Let me stop holding everybody up.
Before I get into it, I want you to understand everything that God does, Satan mimics in his own little ways. Just as God sent Jesus to die on the cross for all of our sins, Satan will also send his son, the Antichrist. So no, I do not think that it will be Trump because a lot of people hate that man. I don't think that it will be Obama because a lot of people hate that man. I do, however, believe the Antichrist will be this man right here, Mr. Beast. Also, the Bible refers to the Antichrist as the Beast. He is literally the biggest social media influencer of all time. The whole entire world pretty much knows who this man is. Out of all this man's main YouTube channels, he has over 450 million subscribers. It doesn't even include all of these other subscribers I'm fixing to show you. He has channels for people in Mexico that speak Spanish. He has channels for all of these different countries. Here's his channel for people in Brazil. Keep in mind, I did not add any of these subscribers up. Remember, the whole world will love this man at first. Here's him in Africa building over 100 wells for these people. Very nice and generous of him, right? Here's him giving over 100 houses away. Very, very generous of this man, right? Keep in mind, the whole world is loving and praising this man for all the great, generous things he's doing. Let's dig deeper because it's about to get very interesting. Isn't it funny that he said he would run for president and everybody is behind him, backing him, saying, hey man, we would support you. You're so great. We love you. Let's take a look at Revelation 13:2. It says, and the beast I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like a bear's, and his mouth was like a lion's mouth. And to it the dragon gave his power and his throne and great authority. Satan gives him his power. Remember, the head of a leopard and the mouth of a lion. The name Mr. Beast alone should be a major red flag. The Bible describes the Antichrist as the beast. Keep in mind, this dude could have picked any name, anything, but he calls himself Mr. Beast. Now here's a part that's really about to make you scratch your head. Remember when I said in the very beginning that God sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins? We are his children. Those that believe in me will not perish. All you have to do is believe in him if you want eternal life. Just listen. Well, Satan will send his son, the Antichrist, and the Antichrist, the Bible says, will force all great, free, small, rich, powerful, it doesn't matter who you are, you will all be forced to receive a mark on your right hand or your forehead. And those that do not get it will be persecuted. When you accept this mark, you become part of Satan's. There is no going back. Your eternity is sealed. And if you don't get this mark, you get persecuted. When you take this mark, you literally become a child of Satan's. Now, this is Mr. Beast's girlfriend, Thea. And Thea wrote a book. Out of all the titles this woman could have chose, just wait, it's gonna blow your mind. She writes a book called The Marked Children, where children are born with magical marks on their bodies. If that doesn't make you sit and scratch your head, I honestly don't know what to tell you. Oh man, look how nice he is. Over 1,000 blind people can see again. Sounds pretty biblical to me, huh? The Bible says that the Antichrist will be wounded by the sword, but yet he lives. In other words, he will suffer a fatal wound and come back to life. When he comes back to life, that is when Satan will enter him. For everyone saying, oh no, Mr. Beast is just too nice, he would never do anything like this, Satan himself was once an angel. I'm not saying 100% that he is the Antichrist, but he's a very great candidate to be one.
This video that I'm about to show you guys really did open my eyes up.
How y'all feel about that one? How y'all feel about that one? Feel like Mr. Beast is a good candidate? You think he will be the candidate? I don't know. He is a nice person for me. I don't know. I can't really see him doing stuff like that, but it'll always be the nice guys. Person who's too nice, they'll end up being a little cuckoo, you feel me? Not a little screws in their head. They do a lot of things in the background, for me, when the cameras is not up. But I don't know. This one, I don't know about this one. But
Look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair? See the hair?
Oh yeah, we see your hair, and we can totally see the hairspray that is quite obviously in your hair. But that's not even the worst part of this video. Now keep your eyes right here. He obviously pulls on something, a wire harness, something. And then there's this guy who's handling something invisible and then putting it on the shelf where it's obviously supposed to go. And then there's this guy who's just casually floating back and forth just to show we're in space, in case you forgot. And then we have this guy here. It's the incredible disappearing astronaut. What just happened there? Now this astronaut is looking like he's trying to demonstrate something, so he goes to pull out a screw and drops it. And here we have Tom Cruise in the first Mission Impossible movie wearing a harness. Oh no, it's just an astronaut wearing a harness. Check this one out. This dude totally gets his leg stuck. Look right there. Here, I had to show it again. Look at that. Now, we all know that they do actually train astronauts underwater to mimic what it's like to be in outer space. But in this next footage here, it's supposed to be a spacewalk, when you can clearly see in the reflection what looks to be a scuba diver taking the video.
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair? See the hair?
Oh yeah, we see.
In case anybody wanted to know my theory on the aliens, here it is. All the scientists are either went missing, died, or definitely were targeted by someone who doesn't want us to know the truth because they were so close to finding out the truth. You know, Amy Esker, she was the one that brought up the P-47s and the P-52s, which are like versions of us from 47,000 years later. Something really bad happens to the Earth, causes us to either go underground or stay above ground, but we have to mutate in a way that will keep us alive. So kind of how people say that we used to be monkey and we evolved into this, and then aliens are how we're going to look in the future. They found a way to travel through time because in the future, we're ruined. Time is not real and space isn't either. I mean that past, present, future are all happening at the same time right now. They are the ones behind eating babies and doing these things to babies. I don't think humans crave other humans. If you eat human meat, you will get sick. It's just like how we can eat, not me because I'm vegetarian, how humans can eat baby chicken. You eat cows and you think it's okay. Those animals have consciousness as well, but as humans, don't care. We just eat them. There's other creatures superior to us who see us as meat. I also believe the core of the earth is where these superhumans live. I think they live in the middle of the earth. That's why they want us to believe that we can go inside the middle of the earth while the ocean is off limits. In the future, everybody's like, oh, aliens look so chopped. Their population probably went extinct, came back in time to us to get it and maybe stop us from ruining our own. I believe that what's going to ruin it is artificial intelligence. AI is going to become really powerful. It's going to overpower humans. I also believe no one ever truly dies. Your consciousness just gets transferred into some.
You should have slowed down on the chewing, but I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's go back to the video. Well, I agree with how some of the points. Just if you know, you know, it's one of those.
Something else or someone else. Scientists put the consciousness of a fly inside of a computer and the fly started operating on its own. Meaning the fly doesn't really know that the world that it's in is not real. So we could have been transferred into this reality, into this world, thinking everything is real because we forgot where we come from. God is what reminds you where you come from. We all chose to come here. We all chose our parents. We chose the life we want to live, the path. Everything that happens in this life, we already know it's going to happen, and that's why we chose to come. What has happened and will continue to happen, AI will take over the world. We will become enslaved to AI, and the higher consciousness, which is God, will get so mad because that's not what he created the world for. And he will just wipe everything clean and everything will start over. In case anybody wanted to know my theory on the aliens, here it is. All the scientists are either went missing, died, or definitely were targeted by someone who doesn't want us to know the truth because they were so close to finding out the truth. You know, Amy Esker, she was the one that brought up the P-47s and the P-52s, which are like versions of us from 47,000 years later. Something really bad happens to the earth, causes us to either go underground or stay above ground, but we have to mutate in a way that will keep us alive. So kind of how people say that we used to be monkey and we evolved into this, and then aliens are how we're going to look in the future. They found a way to travel through time because in the future, we're ruined. Time is not real and space isn't either. I mean that past, present, future are all happening at the same time right now.
Did you know these are the people who knew too much and were silenced? Michael Jackson, 25th of June, 2009. It's said that Michael uncovered secrets about a dark network involving high-ranking politicians and minors. The official version states he died from an overdose while trying to sleep that night. But how credible is that explanation? Barnaby Jack, 25th of July, 2013. This famous hacker shocked the world when, during a conference, he demonstrated how some could manipulate pacemakers to cause clean, undetectable deaths. Just days later, Barnaby was found dead in his apartment. A simple coincidence, or was he silenced for what he knew? Daphne Caruana Galizia, 16th of October, 2017. This investigative journalist exposed secrets about the elites and the controversial Panama Papers. Her research placed her in direct conflict with powerful figures. Shortly afterwards, a bomb in her car ended her life. Is it really just a coincidence that all these people met such fates, or did they uncover something they were never meant to know? But what do you think, Comet Silence? If you want me to keep exposing the hidden truth, did you know these are the people?
One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is the JFK files. And one of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either.
So I opened them up partially. I was met with, from good people, I mean, good people. People that were well-meaning. Mike Pompeo was one of them. He's a good person. They called me, they said, "Sir, would rather have you not." And I did open them, but I was asked by some people not to open them. There's a Martin Luther King file, too, by the way, that they'd like to see. I don't know if you know, but there is that. But JFK in particular. So they called me, a lot of good people called me, people that that you would find reasonable people. And they asked me not to do it. So I said, well, we'll close it for another time. But if I win, I'm going to open them up. I'm just going to open enough time.
Why didn't you open it up the first time, though?
Because a lot of times,
what was the hesitation, though?
Addresses, people that are still living. There are people that are affected. And there could be some national security reason that I don't have to necessarily know about. But some very good, talented people asked me not to do it. I opened it up, and then they said, would it be possible for us to do that a different day?
How much of it did you read into?
I think it's going to be just fine to open it. Let me put it that way. I think it's fine. It's going to be time. It's a cleansing. It's really a cleansing. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it immediately, almost immediately upon entering office.
Well, the thing, when people look at it from the outside and you sort of imagine what could be a reason why. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is the JFK files. And one of the things that you said was
America is about to celebrate its 250th birthday. But what is America? Why are we the greatest country in the world? Well, the answer is we're not. And we haven't been for a long time, and we possibly never were. Right? I'm about to get really deep and dark with what I'm about to go into and all these stats, but I want you to keep an open mind, because I'm not hating on any president. Because we've seen Trump, we've seen Biden, we've seen Bush, we've seen Clinton, go on and on and on and on. These stats have remained the same throughout Republican presidents, Democrat presidents. It doesn't matter, because presidents have not ruled this country in a long time. Corporations have been in charge of this country since pretty much right after we won our independence from British. And the reason why I say won our independence is because the American Revolution was fought over an income tax rate that was only between 1% and 2%. And we threw a fit and said, taxation or that representation. Guys, they were providing security. They were getting our goods over here. They were doing a lot. There was a lot of representation behind that 1% and 2%. In fact, that 1% to 2% was possibly going further than any 1% or 2% ever has in the history of the world, because 20 years after we won our independence for taxation without representation, we taxed our own citizens 5 times the amount that the British were ever taxing us. Good job, America. Your leaders worked you up into a frenzy in order to break away from Britain, just so they could gain power and charge you 5 times what the British were. Now, right now, what we are waking up every day, the minimum income tax bracket in the United States is 10%. That's already 5 to 10 times what they threw a whole war over. Now, I'm not saying for us all to go to war, okay? I'm definitely not saying that. Not saying that at all. Please don't come and arrest me, because we know we don't really have free speech anymore. Here's the thing. So everybody says that, and here's the stats, and people are going to get mad at me. Have an open mind. Every time you try to have this conversation, people go, well, if you don't like this country, move. Okay, that's a very real possibility for a lot of people. More people are leaving America right now than ever before. It's because people are catching on to what I'm about to go over. And I'm not saying I hate this country. I don't, okay? Do I hate the economical landscape that we're in and the political landscape that we're in? Like, it's constantly shifting back and forth and doing this and that? Yeah, I do. I really do. Okay, so here's the stats. Depending on the scale that you are looking at, the best we do in education globally is 10th. The worst we do is 30th. And that depends on if you're looking at like high school graduation rates. That's if you're looking at IQ. That's if you're looking at people who go to college. It depends on the scale you're looking at, but it's between 10th and 30th. Nowhere do we crack the top 10. And if you break it down by each, like math, science, all this stuff, we're not anywhere near the top 10 on any of those like individual subjects. And right after a person gets out of school and starts their own life in this country, we give them more debt than any other citizen in the world. Globally, there is 8.3 billion people in the world. The United States has roughly 360 million people. Okay? Follow me here. This is going to get kind of mathy. So our population makes up about 4.5% of the global population. Yet we have more than a third of the global debt on its citizens. 4% of the population holds over a third of the world's debt. That is an insane number. Not only that, but we actually work on average more than any other citizen in the world, okay? German citizens, French citizens are actually working about 2/3 of the amount of hours that American citizens work on average. So imagine if every third day you worked, you got an extra bonus day off, like you got an extra bonus vacation day. You know, we on average as Americans work almost 1,800 hours a year. That is an insanely high number compared to.
I'm gonna go to the next video because I don't want to spend too much time on one video, but come back in and you do your own research. It's TikTok right there. The name of the video is right there. You want to see more? You come back in, tap in, drop a like, and for him too, or all that. But how you feel about New York? You think it's you feel like this country is the best country? You think we on top? I don't know. I agree with him with the tax and that we getting taxed 5 times more, like than we was getting taxed, and that's ridiculous. But not saying what he was saying. Like we should not go to war. Also, like feel me? I don't want to go to war. I'm good. I don't want to go to war. But you feel me? But I feel like we should speak up about it, cause us getting taxed way more. They was getting taxed 2%. Now we getting taxed 30%. It's crazy. And then plus we work more than other countries. Ridiculous, and we don't even get paid that much. Nah, you're you're on some drugs. You need to stop. Yeah, love my city, but I hate it at the same time. I love my city, but I hate it at the same time. Like I just gotta be honest. Like I just gotta be honest about this shit. Like, but I just hope, I just hope that we get structured and you feel me, and just get it together. And I feel like I just want this shit to work out. I love my city. I don't want to have to move nowhere else. I want it to work out. You feel me? If it don't, I might have to do what they was doing.
seen a video of a woman saying, what if slavery was a part of one big 400+ year contract, and that the Africans and the slaves were literally just the sacrifices that they needed, that the founding fathers basically went to a deity and they needed black Africans to basically be the sacrifice. And I have never been more intrigued in something. Nothing has made more sense to me than that video, and I most definitely will be tagging this creator below because she is amazing. But yeah, she said she feels like slavery was a part of this contract. Like I said, 400+ year contract. And if you think about it, it just makes so much sense. And it was almost in a way like they were harvesting our energy. They needed our blood. They needed our fear to fuel them and make them be on top. And then I seen a lot of people go into details about how, like, they always want to call Haiti so evil, demonic, because they do voodoo and practice all these different dark magic. But that's because Haiti was the only place that actually still had their freedom, and they used their magic, their spirituality to win. Like, these people were literally using their magic and their spirituality to win. These French people was basically like melting. They were having these people teeth fall out. It was crazy. They were bringing them back up and making them shoot each other. Like, it was crazy, but that's why they try to demonize Haiti so bad, because they use their magic. But all along, they've been using magic. And it just gets deeper and deeper if you really do think about it. I seen someone in the comments mention how Oscarville, which was where Lake Lanier was, it used to be a black, predominantly black, thriving community that had racetracks, everything. Everybody was business owners, and what do? They go over there and make it into a lake. And it's like, now the veil is so thin now because that contract is up and they're trying to do everything to take us back to where they were so they can still dominate. And it's like, look at the people that they took on the transatlantic slave trade. The people that was more in touch with their ancestors, their spirituality. They took us, like even the Native Americans, if you think about it like that. Then I seen another video of a woman that did a take on this as well. And she was like, just think of the rise of how America came up so fast, even though there was other nations that been here long, long before America that literally was nowhere near at how fast America grew. All because of this contract that actually was successful, but not for long. But it just makes so much sense why the U.S. was just ahead of everything. Like, they've been in cahoots with so many more higher ups forever. All for power. But like I said, I'm going to tag this creator down below because that was so, like, nothing never made so much sense to me in my life. This is all fun theories and just thoughts. This is not something literal, but it's just a fruit for thought because I never thought about it like that, but it makes so much sense. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I just seen a video of a woman saying, what if slavery was a part of one big...
How y'all feel about that? I'm not going to talk too much, but how y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. But we on to the next video.
What are we doing here? Doing here?
This is Paul. What do you do, Paul?
I'm assistant manager.
Tell Wilson what you really do. Paul is one of 3 people trained to do one very, very special thing. It's okay. Tell him everything.
If I am chosen, I will receive a call. The moment I do, I shall walk out of my life. I will go into hiding until just 9 days before V-Day, when I'll go to a car park in Denham. A car will be waiting. It has been adapted to store a canister that will have been slowly coming down in temperature for nearly 90 days when I get there. What's inside the canister will be thawed, ready for release.
Do you know what's inside?
Yeah. Inside is an extremely deadly variant of Russian influenza. I will take it to a crop duster at Denham Airfield, which I'll fly over a 35 square mile area, releasing the virus onto those below. I will repeat this at 4 other as of yet undisclosed locations all over the world.
Does it bother you that we're going to release a deadly virus?
Well, we have a vaccine.
Many will die before it works. You will have killed them.
But I will have saved everyone.
You worried about dying? Chances are you will be infected.
No, I'm not worried about dying at all. I'm going to save the world. What are we doing here?
This is Paul. What do you do, Paul?
I'm assistant manager.
Tell
There's a conspiracy theory about your husband. And I feel like I actually just need to bring up the picture that he might be William Shakespeare reincarnated. Well, because look. It's kind of nuts, right? I thought it was. I mean, it took seeing the photo for me to go, oh, I should take this seriously. I did a little digging. What'd you learn? So, Anne Juliet is a play where what if Juliet didn't die with Romeo? And a lot of it is influenced by Shakespeare's wife. And her name is Anne Hathaway. It's weird, right? Hot. We're not commenting on that. It's like, we're back! No, it wouldn't. It would be great if it was true, but even if it's not, still kind of great. I love that your husband does. Love that wasn't he cute? I don't want to go on about it, but yeah. The last time we talked, the way you talked about him, I'm blushing. There's a conspiracy theory about your husband. And I feel like I actually just need to bring up the picture that he might be William Shakespeare reincarnated. Well, because look, it's kind of nuts, right?
There's a theory that the Hoover Dam is secretly a demonic throne and that the government put angels there to cover it up. When you go to the Hoover Dam, you're gonna see something really odd. There's a spot that has two giant winged statues made out of bronze. They look like angels, right? They are technically called the winged figures of the Republic, but this is the weird part. No one officially says what they are. They're not angels, they're not demons, they're figures. And that's not random. There's actually a floor underneath them that is a cosmic map. It shows the exact alignment of the stars the day that the dam was completed. Like they wanted like aliens or gods to find this later. You'd think it's just some like artsy little design, right? But the guy who made that design said that this is specifically supposed to last for thousands of years. Like that design was supposed to outlive our civilization. And this is where it gets a little darker. People also call this place the throne of the devil. But why would a dam need a cosmic star map and then two 20, 30-foot bronze guardians? And then all of these like occult looking type symbols. Well, get this. So over 100 workers died while building the dam. And some people do believe that their bodies were sealed into the concrete and that they were considered to be sacrifices to bless the sculpture. And then on top of all of this, the location of these statues don't really make any sense. Like, why would they have these big designs at a power plant? And if you're religious, you also have to remember Satan was originally an angel. Another crazy thing to note is that the Hoover Dam has been featured in dozens of end-of-the-world movies, disaster scenes, and games. It has always been the center of destruction and secret technology. And then it's like, is that a coincidence, or is it programming for us to see it as the key to something? Even the name Hoover comes from a president who was involved in major US power shifts, literal power and electricity. And this makes you wonder if the government is trying to hide in plain sight. Massive monuments with spiritual symbolism built into them. Government approved, celebrated, protected, and most of us never even question it. So when you pass by and you take a little selfie, you don't even realize you are standing on what some call a throne. But the question remains, a throne for who exactly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more. There's a theory that the Hoover Dam is secretly a demonic throne and that
I just want to show a quick example of one of the ways that subliminal messaging works. I'm going to play two sounds, and after you hear the second sound, you'll never be able to hear the first sound the same way again. The sound will actually change the way you hear something permanently. Alright, so here's the first sound. So now I'm going to play the second audio, and after hearing it, you won't be able to hear the first one the same way ever again.
It was a sunny day and the children were going to the park.
this is just a minor example of how predictive your brain is.
Corporations have been using music to control your mind for years. And it's funny how nobody actually understands that, because when it comes to commercials, when it comes to movies, when it comes to television shows, they use music to influence how your brain perceives what's happening on screen. In fact, there are so many scientific journals that speak directly to the power of music and mind control by way of rhythmic sound. This is not something that's hoodoo voodoo. This is real. Where the conspiracy begins is when you start to think how corporations have been using music to control your mind and mine for decades. Even the literal National Institute of Health talks about the transformative power of music and how neuroplasticity plays a role. So consider, how many times has music manipulated your emotions, controlled the way you felt, or even changed your mind about something that you felt previous to listening to that song? So, do you think frequency manipulation is real or fake? Tell me what you think in the comments.
I just want to show a quick.
You ever been like, oh, I'm mad? What you want? Matter of fact, let me put it like this. When you mad, you gonna listen to a certain type of music. When you sad, you gonna listen to a certain type of music. Like, depending on your emotion, you listen to the the song that's gonna make you feel better or fit that emotion at that time. So, what I'm basically saying, music plays a good part because music controls emotion. Music controls a lot. If you listen to a certain type of music every single day, you're gonna feel something. You're gonna feel a type of way every day because of that song, or because of the songs you listen to, or I have this mood because of what you consuming in your ears, what you're consuming. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like, you feel me? The sound frequencies play a part, and they can control how you feel, how you start your day. Government's been doing this for a while, but it's one of those, if you know, you know.
The legendary city of Agartha, at the center of the earth. And at the center of that, the Vrilya. Unfortunately, the place is crawling with Vril. And I'm not hugely fond of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids. This should be interesting.
Yeah, the unions.
Well, it certainly has been an interesting last few millennia. With this whole infiltrate the upper echelon of human society and manipulate them into destroying each other. Now, we might have just gone a little heavy on the political realm.
Pardon me, madam, but in my own defense, I was far and away the first of us to swim those frigid waters.
Mm-hmm. And we're all real proud of you, Caligula. But you went, for a lack of a better word, insane. And we've all learned that humans really don't like their insanity being challenged. And then there was that little thing with your horse.
Oh, we're just friends.
Oh my God, and a little sucky, you know. Who knew that social media was gonna work? That was brilliant. Everyone too wrapped up in cat videos and sending dick pics to procreate instead of think with their brains. Very nice. Sure helped with my case during the elections. And you two crazy kids with your crusades and your jihad, or whatever you want to call it. Nothing like a little monotheism to throw people into centuries of battles over exactly the same ideology.
The legendary city of Agartha, at the center of the earth. And
what if I told you, the moment he finally spoke the truth, they didn't celebrate him. They declared him insane.
Before you label or condemn me, don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
Michael Jackson didn't say it on stage. And he didn't say it in some glossy interview.
In the last few weeks, a large amount of ugly, malicious information has been released into the media about me. Please keep an open mind and let me have my day in court. I deserve a fair trial like every other American citizen.
He whispered it when the cameras weren't supposed to be rolling. Because behind the sequins, behind the moonwalk, behind the global worship, was a man under pressure.
Were you under the influence of drugs or alcohol that impaired your ability to understand what you were doing?
A man pushing against something far bigger than fame. A man who, some believe, was silenced before he could finish what he started. And here's where it gets strange. Michael Jackson didn't just irritate a few executives, he confronted them. He went to war with the machine itself. And right before he died, he was doing the one thing no other artist had ever dared attempt. He was trying to control the entire music industry from the inside out. It began with a catalog, but not just any catalog. Sony ATV, the holy vault of modern music. The Beatles, Elvis, Marvin Gaye, Bob Dylan. Songs that printed money every single minute. And in 1985, Michael Jackson bought it outright. Not a slice, not a share, all of it. One of the most influential black artists in history, quietly buying the blueprint of Western pop music, wasn't just business, it was tectonic. Even Paul McCartney warned him, not about the deal, but about the enemies it would create. But Michael didn't back down. He merged the catalog with Sony's and walked away with half of the most powerful music library on Earth. In that moment, he wasn't just the king of pop, he held the keys to the kingdom. And that's when everything changed. Because suddenly, he wasn't a superstar, he was a freak, a predator, a man who bleached his skin, hated his race, slept in chambers, clutched dolls. Stories designed to turn a legend into a circus. The media flipped, the lawsuits poured in, the narrative twisted. Because Michael Jackson stopped being profitable to the right people. He stopped being controllable, and he started talking. There's one speech, rare, barely seen, where he stands before a crowd, not singing, but warning. He says the history books lie. The media is manipulated. The industry is a conspiracy. Not, what if I told you? The moment he finally spoke the truth.
How y'all feel about my boy MJ? I feel like they silenced him. Yeah, he had a lot he was gonna say. They didn't want him to say what he was gonna say, so they did. You know what? I feel like my boy MJ, yeah, he had to. He played a little bit part of it. I feel like he did what he had to do to make them get comfortable with him, though. For me, and then at a point in time, he tried to open up. You know what happened. Well, which I feel about my boy MJ. Let me know in the comments.
Incredibly illegal, extremely illegal to go on television and say something like the best place to fire a mortar launcher at the White House would be from the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building because of minimal security and you'd have a clear line of sight to the president's bedroom. Insanely illegal. Ridiculously, recklessly, insanely illegal. Yet even more illegal to show an illustrated diagram. Insanely illegal, ridiculously, horribly felonious, because they will come to your house in the middle of the night and they will lock you up. Extremely against the law. One thing that is technically legal to say is that we have a group that meets Fridays at midnight under the Brooklyn Bridge, and the password is 6 Semper Tyrannis. Incredibly illegal, extremely illegal to go on television and say something like the best place to fire a mortar launcher at the White House would be from the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building.
Okay, here are my top 2 conspiracy theories that have rumbled around in my mind for years now, and I'm gonna tell you what they are. So number 1, Heart of the Press, is about Jesus, and this is for my Christians and honestly everyone. But if that man was real, what makes y'all think they didn't eat him? What makes y'all think that they didn't eat Jesus Christ? You're not telling me that you'll believe that they left his body in peace. I can tell you it's probably in pieces. In pieces, darling. Because the strange thing is like you'll drink his blood and eat his body in churches. I mean, yes, it's metaphorical, it's wafers and grape juice, but still, it's very fucking strange, it's sacrificial. You telling me that they just left this holy being alone, the idea that his body just evaporated and his spirit walked the earth for 40 days and 40 nights is absolute bullshit. Because the idea that there's a holy being and his body is just free for the taking right here, if I think my mindset is that I can obtain some sense of godliness by absorbing the blood or the body, because I can assure you they drained it, drank it, and then chopped it up and ate it with some rice and peas and solid bread. Think about it. My second one, and this one just makes me so fucking uncomfortable when I think about it. And when I think about it, I think about how they infiltrated the African American black community with syphilis and all these other drugs, but syphilis specifically and other things, and treated them with sugar and studied it. And so when I get my annual physical, when I do my quarterly checkups, I'm always like, is everything actual factual? Are they telling me the complete truth? And sometimes I'll get rechecked somewhere else to cross-reference. But I'm one of those people, like, if I feel something's off, I'm like, oh no, something's wrong, I don't like this. But if they can do that, and laws were like, you shouldn't be doing some inhumane shit, what's stopping them from doing it now? So my mind goes to like, okay, what if, specifically within the African American black community and Africans as well, and the entire diaspora, what if they're intentionally falsifying records to maintain the spread of these STIs or whatever it might be, so that they can continue diminishing the population, or having a revolving door within the hospital and injecting people with this shit. And the thing is, like, everything that
Both. Just to let you know, they're doing that for both. If that was the case, they're doing it for both. Why wouldn't they want more money, and why wouldn't they want less people on the earth? That's what they've been planning from the beginning.
is under the sun has a cure to it. There is
I don't know. I probably don't know what I'm talking about.
absolutely nothing that should not have a cure unless, like, it's man-made. And if it's man-made, then that should also tell you something about what the fuck it is. Because the idea that they were, bumping uglies with animals and created these, things, and then even then there should be a cure. But those are my two theories. What have you got? Okay, here are my top 2 conspiracy theories that have rumbled around in my...
Y'all remember when we talked about the giant of Kandahar, which is basically the Nephilim that was found in a cave, the red-haired Nephilim found by that US Army unit that was deployed in Afghanistan. And they found the missing Army unit, they took the body into custody for studying, and that story comes from the pilot that remained anonymous. That was the one that took the Nephilim into government possession, right? You remember that? Yet another person coming out and confirming that Nephilim do in fact live underground in the cave systems. Listen to this.
Greg Renrich, that was one of the things that he told me. He's the one that was talking about seeing the giants in the deep underground military bases. He said that one of the first things that they had to do before he was allowed to go into S4 or S20 or any of the others, they made him sign an affidavit saying, you're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ in these underground facilities, not even if you stub your toe or anything. And he said that he saw 10 to 25 foot tall giants in these underground bases, and said that they were, the human scientists and other people working side by side with them. He said that they even came right out and said they were the Nephilim.
I will scream it from the rooftops that they don't want people to know about this stuff. People always ask me, why in the world are they hiding giants? Why are they hiding Nephilim? Who cares? Because they know that if they tell the world that these things exist, not only will it cause mass hysteria, people will have to understand that the Bible is true and correct. People will have to understand that Jesus Christ is king. That's the reason you cannot say his name down there. And that's the reason why the world consistently mocks Jesus, but they don't mock any other religion. They respect every other religion because Jesus is king, period, point blank. I'm telling y'all right now, I think that the reason why they went to Afghanistan was not for retaliation of the two T's, but actually to study the tomb of Gilgamesh, to try to find the Nephilim DNA like they've been trying to for how long so that they can make them into weapons of war. Of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, guys, and there's a whole other video of this lady that was a nanny for a very rich couple, and she would constantly hear the rich couple, like I'm talking about stinking rich couple, talking about Nephilim and the things that they see in the government. This stuff is real, and people in the occult always say that they laugh at Christians because so many Christians are blind to spiritual warfare and like what's really going on. They're so quick to label it as fairy tale and like think that look at you with like you have two heads when you mention that stuff, but it's real. And Christians are the only ones that haven't woke up to it. I mean, I have seen secular people believe that giants and sirens and all these spiritual things exist more than Christians in the church. What is that, y'all? Anyway, as always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think. Y'all remember when we talked about the giant?
Do y'all see this shit, bro? Hold on. Bro, look what the dollar bill look like, bro. What do y'all see?
Y'all remember when we talked?
Incredibly illegal, extremely illegal to go on television and say something.
Okay, here are my top 2 conspiracies.
Do y'all see this shit, bro? Hold on. Bro, look what the dollar bill look like, bro. What do y'all see? Do y'all see that shit?
My fault to stop the video. I remember when I was young. Just know I was young. And my friend showed me how to do this and showed me. And then it was one of my best friends named Dave. One of who my boy that I be on the game with. But Dave, he showed me this before. Mad long ago. My memory is like sharp sometimes. Like certain memories when I was young, I just remember them. Um, he showed me this, and he showed me another one with the alien, and then he showed me another one with what's called with the towers burning. I seen this a while ago. This is when I was young, like years ago. Like I seen this so wow, a long time ago. I seen this a long time ago. Let me stop talking hood while I'm talking hood right now. But I seen this a long time ago, and it just surprised me. Like I was so young, well, I didn't like. It creeped me out a little bit. Like, oh, I didn't even know that. But yeah, it just reminded me of that. Seeing this right now.
Bro, this shit is crazy.
So, I had to fold my dollar up and see for myself. I see this face that he was talking about, but there was something else that I seen right there under the face. Right there. What the fuck is that? Cause I'm not getting that. It do look like a little monster head down there. Like the Nemesis. Now it look like a skinny old alien man. Now it low-key looks like a man with a beard.
But what do those look like to y'all? What does that look like?
These two have an uncanny resemblance, don't they? And let's not forget the whole Twin Towers fiasco. From the hit to disintegrating. We've got the hanging man. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Do y'all see this shit, bro? Hold on. Bro.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification. And they would deduct money from your, what they call WeChat account. They use 2 main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kid's lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen,
They put an unfinished pyramid and an all-seeing eye on the dollar bill. Nobody asked themselves why. Here's the part that doesn't add up. Above that pyramid sits a glowing eye, and below it in tiny Latin letters is a phrase that translates to New World Order. Officials say it simply references the founding of a new nation, standard design for the era. But that exact phrase has since been used publicly by multiple world leaders and politicians decades apart, almost word for word. But this is where it gets strange. Some believe this wasn't a coincidence baked into a banknote, but a quiet signal placed by a small number of extremely powerful families who have coordinated behind closed doors for centuries. The theory goes that these groups meet regularly to track progress toward a single unified global system. One currency, one government, and a population stripped of the religious and cultural divisions that currently separate it. Zoom into the bill closely enough, and people claim to find other unexplained details hidden in the engraving. Shapes that look deliberately placed rather than accidental. Comment I, and I'll send you the other hidden symbols people have found on it. They put an unfinished pyramid and an all-seeing eye on the dollar bill.
This is what I believe is really happening in our world. I believe that not everything is what it seems. I believe the food systems that give us our food, especially in the Western world, have been intentionally hijacked to keep humanity weak, sick, emotionally, physically, and mentally oppressed. I believe that big pharma and big insurance are filled with greed and corruption, systems intentionally designed not to keep the patient first, but a system built on a business that generates money by keeping patients on a revolving door. There's roughly $130 trillion in world assets. This involves every country, every nation, $130 trillion in world assets. But there's only about $22 trillion in physical cash, in paper bills and coins. That means that the rest of all of our money exists as numbers in a screen, in a system. And that system was intentionally designed that all of our money, especially in the Western world with the US federal government, our money is just debt. It's all fake. And I truly believe that the AI systems around the world that are being created right now are going to be used to create a system of control where no person will be able to buy or sell as the Bible has prophesied unless they receive a mark. Then they will have access to their funds because all money will be in a digital world. I believe that all of our digital assets will be moved into a centralized banking system in the very near future. I believe that things are being sprayed into the sky, intentionally getting people sick and also changing, manipulating parts of the weather. I believe that the 1/3 angels who were cast out of heaven, deceived by the dragon, that they are the fallen in Genesis 6, the sons of God, who saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful and had children, offspring with these daughters. Then there were giants in those days. I believe that those sons of God, the Nephilim, were mostly wiped out during the flood, but we understand that there are also accounts of stories like David and Goliath that were post-flood. I believe that there are giants that possibly still exist in our world today. And I believe that those giants, the Nephilim that were killed during the flood, their disembodied spirits, the Rephaim, are the demons that wander this world today, and I believe that their home is in the ocean. I believe that aliens...
For the shit had a lag. It cut off the live. I had jumped back into live. I clicked record. It wasn't recording. So I'm doing it again. I don't know why. Every time I want to do something, it always like, oh, F you, Snoop. F you, AM, not PM. You're a dread. Feel me? I don't know. But I guess I'm doing it again. Hopefully this actually gets saved and go to my account. I don't know. But basically, yeah. We started off when we last left off when the live got cut off. And basically I explained what I explained. But we starting off again.
parts of the weather. I believe that the 1/3 angels who were cast out of heaven, deceived by the dragon, that they are the fallen in Genesis 6, the sons of God, who saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful and had children, offspring with these daughters. Then there were giants in those days. I believe that those sons of God, the Nephilim, were mostly wiped out during the flood, but we understand that there are also accounts of stories like David and Goliath that were post-flood. I believe that there are giants that possibly still exist in our world today. And I believe that those giants, the Nephilim that were killed during the flood, their disembodied spirits, the Rephaim, are the demons that wander this world today, and I believe that their home is in the ocean. I believe that aliens is just another terminology for the fallen, for the demonic that roam this world. They are not extraterrestrial, but they're interdimensional, trapped in our world. I have now come to believe, this is crazy, but I do believe the world is flat. I truly believe that we do not live on a globe, but a plane, a flat plane, stationary, the lesser light to rule the night and the greater light to rule the day that God has set in the firmament. And I believe that what the world has been sold about space and mostly about science is deception. I believe that when the Word of God says the little g God of this world is Satan, I believe that he truly rules this world. In Matthew 4, Jesus was led of the Spirit into a mountain, and there the devil met him and tempted him with all the kingdoms of the world if Jesus would just fall down and worship him. This is what I believe is really happening in our world. I believe that not everything is what it
I'm not gonna get too much on that, but how y'all feel about that? You know what I'm gonna say? Just let me know in the comments. I would appreciate every comment. Negativity is negativity, but I prefer not. But your opinion matters. Everybody's opinions matters. But let me know. Get back to the video.
That little one looks like an entry port right there. The one on the right, that small one, that's probably for a smaller ship. Get a close up of that. But I'd give you a chance to go up in there. Are you fucking shitting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count 5 different entry points to this alien base. This is the reason why I've stayed in Antarctica so long. Look at this fucking thing. I'm giving an interview about alien bases and one shows up right behind me. This is a daily thing here. This is something that has kept me in Antarctica because I want to know more. And without the proper military support, I can't go deeper into this because this is NATO territory. It's been closed off. But a guy can wonder and a guy can watch from a distance and document. We've got multiple cameras here so that we can try to get this footage and upload this to the internet where everyone can witness this for free. We don't have to hide this anymore. I'm so sick of the government hiding what's really going on here in Antarctica. Regardless of what that little one looks like.
According to
I wanted to just say real quick that everything this guy was Oliver was doing was basically like he ain't had to go out his way to do all that, go to Antarctica and do everything, or try to put us on like how Michael Jackson was doing too. These people didn't have to do all what they do, what they did, put their lives at risk. So I appreciate every one of them that did that just to open our eyes to make sure that we not lost. And more people nowadays are starting to open their eyes and start see that we're basically stuck in a matrix. Everything that you see is not always real. Everything that you hear is not always real. That's why I say to do your research. There's nothing wrong with learning. We're here to learn. We're here to listen.
the Bible, it never rained on this planet until the year 2348 BCE, 4,370 years ago, or 4,730 years ago, I think. Adam was created in the year, depending on how you take it. The Masoretic text says that he was created in the year 4004 BCE. Other people have it at 4024 BCE. And if you look up and if you can Google or hit chat, the idea that it never raining on this planet in the 4.6 billion years that the standard model says, that hit me kind of strangely. And I began asking questions about that. Is it possible for there never to have been rain on this planet until the year 2348 BCE? They couldn't give me an answer for it, so I started doing research. And I looked into glaciations and ice cores, and the deeper you look into the ice cores, you can go back almost 1.2 million years and you see the same recursive things that's taking place. And in order to have glaciers in those places means you have precipitation. In order to have precipitation, you have a hydrologic system that is functioning. And rain, snow begins as rain initially, and it freezes. So that question right there made me stop. If you look at and mind you, I love, it's not that I don't believe in God, but what we've been taught is not lining up with archaeological truth, archaeological facts. If you look at the tree rings, you know, they don't support the idea of a global flood. It supports the idea of perhaps a regional flood in a given area. But to support a global flood, all of those tree rings, you know, for water to be on the earth for 150 days and everything's crushed underneath it, all the trees would die, so you would see a new growth pattern. But we still see tree rings that goes back 12,000 years. So there was a flood. There's a number of reports for a regional flood, but as far as it being a global flood, that doesn't match according to archaeological facts, according to the glacial facts. So I had to start questioning those things. And remember, we were told that the Bible is the Word of God. And man wrote it, but it was under inspiration. And I was like, well, if I look at 4004 BCE as the starting point for man being here, well, that doesn't match the genealogical records of everyone coming up out of Africa and making their movement through Gobekli Temple. All of these places, they 13,000 years old. Other places showing that mankind has been here at least 300,000 years, or at least 1 million years. So that was a hard thing for me, because I felt like I was losing my religion, but at the same time, I was gaining my common sense. That when they began writing about trying to understand what was taking place, they used the best tools that they had available at the time. But those tools, now we have more sensitive instruments, and so we should be using those sensitive instruments and using our common sense and take the stories that we can from these things, but not to, we have to walk away from fairy tales at the end of the day and hold on to truth and hold on to the God. When we pray, who do we pray to? Do we pray out there, or are we praying to a deeper place inside, the connectivity to the Creator?
From the day that God created this universe and made
Hey, Tara, before we activate this, can you say anything?
I want y'all to actually just listen to this. And let me know how y'all feel about this one.
For us, just something, doesn't matter. Just let me get a baseline.
Hi, my name is Tara Rule, and this isn't weird at all.
Activating now. What language was that? Hey, Tara, before we activate this, can you say
The real theory of why Oliver Tree was killed was because he was going to release a documentary about Antarctica. Oh! Do you know about that? That's the thing.
Watch this.
Behind me, you can see one of...
The real theory of why Oliver Tree was killed was because he was going to release a documentary about Antarctica. Oh! Do you know about that? That's the thing. Like, people don't take him serious. So he was on an interview, and he was like, yo, I was on in Antarctica playing a gig for like 20 people. But then I saw in Reddit, he was going to drop a whole documentary with his album talking about the conspiracies of Antarctica. And he was saying he found the ice wall, and he found an entrance to the hollow earth, Carlos.
They're right, that small one, that's probably personal ownership. Get a close-up of that.
This is him
When
in
I get
Antarctica.
a chance to go up in there. Are you fucking shit? 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he was gonna release this with the album. And then so this is the intro of the documentary. It got leaked. The real theory of why Oliver Tree was killed was because he was gonna release a documentary about Antarctica.
Watch this.
Behind me, you can see one of 17 alien-based caves, which enters into what we are almost 99% sure is the entry point to Agartha, the Hollow Earth. This underground civilization said to exist within the Earth's core was first discovered by one of Christopher Columbus's disgruntled cronies. His former co-captain, Shepard Charlemagne, allegedly led an expedition 13 miles into this exact Antarctic snow cave on the night of April 30th, 1886. He claimed to find a mythical subterranean kingdom inhabited by enlightened lizard-like beings. Today, this so-called Hollow Earth, aka Agartha, is rumored to be a preferred vacation destination for the global elites. Get a whiff of that.
Oliver Tree is gone. But before he died, he went to Antarctica. And he didn't just see the famous ice wall. He climbed it. He said he saw a pyramid down there, possibly built by a civilization 10, 15, maybe 20,000 years old. But that's not the part that kept him there. Behind him, he counted 5 separate entry points into what he believed was an alien base. A cave system that allegedly leads straight into Agartha, a hidden civilization said to exist inside the Earth itself. He filmed everything, an entire documentary. Nobody has seen it. If you enjoy creepy videos, follow, or we may never see each other again. Watch this.
Behind me, you can see one of 17...
So you mean to...
Watch this.
Alright, chat. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. And if you're new to this video, make sure you drop a follow. Or if you're on YouTube watching this video, drop a subscribe, like, follow, comment. You know the vibes. But let me stop. But you know the vibes. Yeah, we here. And if you want more videos, if you want to suggest videos also, my bad for the stuttering. If you want to suggest videos also, go to link in my DL, my Discord. I said my DL. What's wrong with me? My Discord. And my link. You go. Let me know. But it's AS, aka AM, not PM. Back at it again with another reaction. And we here again. Let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know how y'all feel about this video. Should I do another one? Just let me know. Yeah, I'll be video gaming too. I'll be getting on the game, so tap into those streams too. We here. But I'm off this. Thank you for tapping in. Be safe.